Hi, my name is Olivia DePauli. To those of you who are listening in on my podcast tonight, thank you. Shout out to Professor Georgic. I know you're out there somewhere. So, tonight, I will be proposing the question: if we reduce the American work week from 4 days to 5, what will the implications be upon minimum wage workers? Now, I would first like to emphasize that when conversing about a shorter work week, we tend to have a vision of white collar workers in mind. It is very important that we bring hourly workers into this conversation, seeing as the notion of fewer work hours is gaining traction within the United States. In my Economic 101 class, I have learned that macroeconomic health undoubtedly connects to, if not determines, an individual's happiness. Within a macroeconomic framework, improving consumer spending power, minimizing joblessness, and stabilizing prices are essential to maximize happiness. Reducing the American work week has the potential to improve consumer spending power and unemployment, but we must first and foremost consider what this means in terms of economic equality for all. While shorter work weeks might boost productivity and work-life balance for high-wage workers, low-wage workers will be excluded from the benefits that a shorter work week provides. They have less agency in the workplace, less resources, and receive lower wages than white-collar workers, leaving them disproportionately affected by a reduced work week. According to the graph on the right, low-income workers have lost significantly more hours than high-income workers over the past 15 years or so. As employers continue to offer fewer hours and less overtime, hourly shift workers are looking for an increase in their work week. So, if we center the discussion of a shorter work week around higher income workers, we will be opening an economic sort of Pandora's box. And I would also like to talk about correlation versus causation as applied to my research, because I feel as though it would be a bit incomprehensive to state that reducing the American work week from 5 days to 4 would directly cause adverse conditions within the minimum wage sector of our labor market. Reducing the American work week more so exposes adverse conditions within the minimum wage sector. For example, within the minimum wage workplace, scheduling algorithms use AI to devise worker shifts around when to best meet a store's demand. Scheduling technology gives these workers minimal control over their schedules. Because there's a clear time-money trade-off, the majority want to increase their hours worked. A reduced work week would magnify the adverse conditions of the minimum wage sector, but it is not a root of causation. Furthermore, when applying the scientific method to this area of macroeconomic study, we must be careful of good versus bad research and experimental biases. Research efforts surrounding a shorter work week must stretch beyond white-collar workers to minimize the use of models that support one-track examination. Next, I would like to acknowledge that significant progress has been made within the labor market for lower-income individuals. For example, the Earned Income Tax Credit is a federal tax credit for low and moderate income working people. It encourages and rewards work and offsets federal payroll and income taxes. In 2019, state EITCs made significant gains. As of recent, state lawmakers are improving efforts to support working families through programs such as EITCs, which reduce the income disparity between high and low income households and improve economic equality. In the article, The Shorter Workweek Controversy, Thomas Sowell states that a trend toward shorter hours is due to union and/or governmental influence. If we continue to bolster programs such as EITC, we could begin to pursue a shorter work week that is sustainable for all workers. In Denmark, individuals that work minimum wage jobs are well taken care of within the labor market. They are provided the following: 6 weeks paid vacation, life insurance, 1 year paid maternity leave, universal medical insurance, and paid sick leave. To put things into perspective, a burger flipper at McDonald's in Denmark enjoys these benefits plus a $22 per hour wage. Danes work an average of 37 hours per week, which is not far off from the standard work week in the United States. However, when discussing input versus output, Lawrence Katz, a labor economist at Harvard, notes that workers are just more productive in Denmark. simply because they have had access to higher quality human capital investment opportunities. A common argument for those in favor of a shortened work week is that of productivity. This past summer, workers at Microsoft Japan experienced a delightful change of pace, working 4 days a week, enjoying a 3-day weekend, and getting their normal 5-day paycheck. The result, the company says, was a productivity boost of 40%. However, the question remaining is whether this boost in productivity stems from a culture of higher quality human capital investment, which would be present in a company like Microsoft Japan, or from a reduction in work week hours. All right, well, would you look at that? The questions are coming in. How confident am I in my assumptions? Well, this is a very good question, and I do not want to discredit my research in one sentence, but my understanding of labor markets is not all-knowing. In the primal stages of my research, I truly believe that a shortened work week would foster happiness, productivity, and economic equality within the workplace. But I have since determined that this notion is not necessarily true, considering the improvements that have yet to be made within our labor force, particularly for low-wage workers. Based upon the research that I have done, I believe that my assumptions are correct, in that we cannot move towards a shortened work week because the movement does not support the most vulnerable of demographics. This would inevitably result in increased economic inequality between socioeconomic classes. Thank you.